Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Jennifer. We are a middle aged couple with a Regal unlimited subscription, the ability to speak English, sort of,
Sort of.
and a deep, deep desire for movie theater popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn's good stuff. I've had it 2 days in a row now. Is that
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah. You
I'm
did go to the
having more
movies
tomorrow.
yesterday.
Okay.
Not tomorrow. Oh, yes, tomorrow. Yeah.
I went and slept a long walk yesterday, which we're not going to talk about because what we do is we go see movies together,
Yeah.
and then we talk about the movies we see together in 2025.
Yeah.
And tonight we went and saw Downton Abbey, the grand finale.
Yes. A slightly different movie than The Long Walk,
Yeah.
but, was it longer than The Long Walk?
Oh, much, much longer.
That's hilarious. It was a long walk. Actually, come to think of it, there's quite a bit of walking in this movie.
All right, so let's get this out of the way. So I was a huge Downton Abbey fan for many, many years, probably from the start of the show. It was like a ghoulish delight kind of thing of watching this crazy show about British aristocracy, being a staunch Democrat myself.
Well, I mean, it's an upstairs, downstairs show from the start, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's about the aristocracy and the servants,
So-
too, right?
PBS had also run this reality show called Manor House, where they got just normal people to live like the family of the manor house, but also the servants.
Mm-hmm.
And so the family were constantly, complaining about how hard it was to like always have to be dressed perfectly and show up on time for dinner. And the people who played the servants talked about how they just wanted to die. So they literally could not find anybody to be the scullery maid at Manor House because the job was so god awful, and miserable and evil. And it was just like, yeah, this is the class system at its absolute worst. So then Downton Abbey comes around, and I'm like, I think Downton Abbey probably came first, and that's why Manor House was made. But it was a huge success. People loved it. So for me, it was like, oh, let's look at this show about these evil aristocrats. And then, of course, it became a guilty pleasure, and then it just became an unreserved, like, delight to watch this show. Because it was a couple of things. One is it was like all of these characters are lovable, no matter what their actual class status in the world would have been. They all act like they all love each other and care about each other. The servants all think that the masters are just the best people, and that it's absolutely worth devoting your entire life to cleaning their toilets. And the servants, of course, are all incredibly brave and kind and compassionate and much more progressive than you would give them credit for, and so on. And they stand up for their betters, and it's crazy stuff, but it works, right? It's cozy. It's a cozy show where everybody loves each other and nothing bad ever happens.
Well, I mean, bad things do happen, right? In those first seasons and stuff. Like, bad stuff happens, but, like, it's like soap opera bad stuff,
Yeah,
right?
the bad things that happened were that a couple characters died
Isn't that
because
bad?
the actors wanted to go on and have huge movie careers.
That's true, and they didn't, and that's fine.
Well, yeah, fair. Anyway, so, and then World War One happens, and that was bad. They're very clear on how bad that was.
Yeah.
Okay, so the movies that followed, the show eventually went off the air, and then the movies started coming out. And the movies are just fan service. There's no way getting around this. There's nothing to them. They're fripperies. They're just there so you can see your favorite characters one more time. We are promised this is the last time. We are promised that this grand finale is the end of Downton Abbey. We will never see another Downton Abbey project. Judging by the number of people that were in the theater with us tonight, that's probably accurate.
Yeah. Yep.
I think there were 4 people in the entire theater.
Yep.
On a Saturday night, the weekend of this came out. So this movie is apparently not doing very well.
This was the weekend it came out? I thought it came
Or
out
did
last
it come out last weekend?
No, I think you're right. I think this is the weekend it came out. But maybe it came out last weekend.
Okay. So,
doesn't matter. Even still, like, it's the second weekend. Like, somebody should be seeing it. Yeah.
So this is an interesting case for us, like, did I like this movie? Yeah, I did, because I liked seeing my favorite characters again. I liked knowing that all these people were going to be okay and that everything was going to work out. And everybody's happy and all the people are married. There was even a montage in the closing credits of all the happily married people being happily married.
Except for one.
Who?
Lady Mary.
Oh, no, she's good with her kids, though.
Yeah, her kids that she never spoke to during the entire movie.
Well, that's...
But, you know, she's happy with her kids.
Kind of been an ongoing thing with this show.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about George every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot that there were 2 kids until that little montage thing.
Yeah, really. You know, and so it did its job. It did its job as fan service. Will I remember the plot of this movie in an hour? No. It's an absolutely silly plot about Mary being a divorced woman and how scandalous that is in 1930. I mean, nobody cares about that now. And so they tried desperately to make you think, oh, this was a big deal back then.
It was a big deal back then in that class strata.
I
bought that.
It was probably a much bigger deal than they made this movie makes
That's
it clear
exactly it. It's like they made it to be a big deal, and then somehow it was easily resolved. And that was the part that wasn't actually believable. Like, yes, this was, you know, the end of that. And, you know, it was and it wasn't, right? Like, divorce was a big deal unless you had the social capital to just carry it off, which people did. And, you know, maybe the Granthams didn't, but, you know, whatever.
The other big thing is that the Crawley family and the Grantham family are struggling for money. And then literally throughout the movie, an endless series of people come along and say, would you please take all of my money? Can I just give you some money so to make things okay? And they go, oh, I couldn't possibly. And then they sell Grantham House. Oh, spoilers, by the way. They sell Grantham House, which, did you know what Grantham House was? It was their London townhouse. And, okay, it's kind of hard to feel sorry for that. So, in some ways, this is the end of my love for Downton Abbey. I think that I've become less tolerant of the hijinks of Aristocrats. I think that Succession is much more the show that I lays out my feelings about Aristocrats now. But it was fine, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I teared up at the end. It was the big montage of all the people who've been lost and all the people who've been saved and all the whole thing. Okay, it's done. This is gonna be our shortest video ever. Unless you have really strong feelings about this movie that you'd like to share with us, Jennifer.
I mean, I have strong feelings about the whole Downton Abbey project.
Yes.
So I did not watch Downton Abbey when it first came on, and was just like, as much as my professional career was going to be the study of, British aristocracy in the Middle Ages and stuff, like, and know a reasonable amount about like that universe in the early 20th century, I'm like, I do not need to see an upstairs downstairs show like about the ins and outs of these people, like an evening 10 p.m. soap opera kind of thing. Like, that's not my jam. Did I have a TV in 2010? I guess I had a TV in 2010. I could have watched it, and I didn't. And then after we met, and you were like, I love this show, at some point I started watching it with you. I didn't go back and watch the seasons I hadn't seen.
Yeah, you watched literally the last season of the show.
The last season of the show. Mm-hmm. And so, you explained enough, and I was able to follow it, and like I got why people liked the show, and I got how it can seduce you into liking these characters. But, it's like Lady Mary and Lady Edith in particular.
We're Team Edith in this household, by the way.
Whatever.
She doesn't care.
I could care less.
I'm Team
But
Edith.
there is something about both the diction and their particular voices that they both sound utterly condescending.
Mm-hmm.
They feel incredibly condescending to me no matter what they are saying. They could be saying, I love you, and it sounds condescending. And it also sounds sarcastic. And a big theme in this movie is Noel Coward being a character in this movie. And basically the way he talks in this movie is what I hear them every time they speak, of like this kind of arch, like
ironic.
Yeah, that it's just like ironic, sarcastic, and you could not possibly believe that anyone could be being serious with this coming out of their faces. Mm-hmm. And they're dead serious, right? Like this is just like, this is how I talk, and like I'm telling you I love you. I'm telling you about something that's important to me. like that's legitimately I don't even process it. Like I don't get it, right? So like they both kind of drive me bananas. And then the downstairs, like, they're, a big part of the show is people kind of breaking or changing these class divides. And so they change them, but yet accept them and internalize them. And I get that that's what really happens, right? Like you internalize these class divides, but it's not really discussed as demented in this show.
Right.
As opposed to just a foible of like, well, we're going to progress. And as we progress, we tinker with this and we tinker with that. As opposed to, this is literal insanity. Mm-hmm. The entire universe that is presented to me is literal insanity, right? So, yeah, it's like you suspend your disbelief of everything about this is a show that should be like, everything should be set on fire. As nice as Highclere Castle is, and like, I'm sure at some point I will pay to go visit it. Like, it should also be a pile of rubble, right? Like, because somebody should have had a revolution and set on fucking fire. Like, yeah. So, I have my problems with the show and the movies, but I love you, dear. So I have gone to see, I watched the last season and I've gone to see the movies.
You've seen all
right?
the movies, yeah.
So, yeah, like, it's fine. Like, there's been some good outfits and costumes and some unfortunate ones and some good hats and some bad hair and some good hair. And that's always good. And this movie is about Elizabeth McGovern's American brother, who I clocked in the commercial.
Paul Giamatti.
Who's played by Paul Giamatti. And when Dave told me that this movie was set in 1930, because I wasn't 100% sure exactly what year it was, the commercial didn't make that clear. But he told me it was 1930. I'm like, the brother is in England because he lost all the American money. And
in the stock market crash.
That was my assumption, was in the stock market crash. But he did not lose the money in the stock market crash. He gave the money to a scam artist because he's a dipshit. And somehow this is like a problem, but like a problem that they can't figure out initially. Like I realize that you have people to be like the money managers and stuff, like, but like none of these people hire money managers. You don't ever see the like estate manager or whatever. It's like there's this upstairs downstairs thing, but there's actually an entire class of servants that are missing from this whole universe. And so like estate managers and financial managers and that kind of stuff, private secretaries, like that kind of shit. Some of those people, even in the 20th century, early 20th century, would have been living in or near the house. And some of them would not be, right? Like you would have contracted somebody in London to do shit for you. But like your estate manager would be the one who would have contracted the so-and-so in London to do other shit for you, right? Like just all of that is poof, right? So somehow the brother is an idiot. He has handed over this money to a scam artist and brought the scam artist to the house. And the scam artist is hot. So Lady Mary jumps into bed with the scam artist. Like, the fuck, right? Like, and doesn't smell this shit, because it's shit. Because, like, he's a scam artist, right? They don't smell the shit coming from miles because they're too dumb to smell it.
That is something fascinating about this show, is that every time the show starts to get a little too boring, they just have Lady Mary have sex with somebody.
I guess that's it.
And then when the show's doing fine, she's the model of propriety,
right.
and would never consider being, disgraced by being associated with an untoward gentleman. If the interest starts flagging in the show, she'll find somebody.
Yeah.
And it is really big. That's like the weirdest part of the show for me. Like episode 3 of the first season of the show, she loses her virginity to this Turkish diplomat, who then dies in her bed. And
I don't remember you telling me about that.
And Edith and her lady's maid have to move this body.
Anna?
Yeah, have to move this body to a different bedroom so that he can be found in the morning dead and not in Lady Mary's bed.
Okay.
That was supposed to set the tone for the show.
Gotcha.
Oh God, no! The show has never been that exciting again. one thing I realized about the show while watching this movie is that the whole point of Downton Abbey is that these people live in a world where the breadth of scandal is devastating.
Got you.
And so,
but then the breadth of scandal keeps coming, waving past them.
But so the show is all about like this endless series of near scandals, of things that could have been a problem for the family. And always, just in the nick of time, someone has a word in somebody else's ear, and the scandal just goes away. And it's not a problem anymore. And yes, that's how these people would have handled these things, because if it had gotten to the point where people were actually talking about it, that would be the end of the aristocracy, right? So, kind of was. That's kind of how it happened.
It wasn't the end of the aristocracy because of scandal.
Okay. Anyway, so, yeah. So, but it means that the drama never quite gets to the point of being dramatic.
Yep.
And so they're constantly just throwing out these like weird sexcapades and things. And it just, it feels really silly now. And I guess that's the thing, is that Downton Abbey has just outlived its own pleasures. And I think that that's a little sad. I really did like the show, and I wish that these movies had a little more substance to them. But I guess, I also get the point of it's just literally trotting out the same actors in front of the same house so we can see it all one more time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was what it was,
It's a big pile of fan service.
Sure. I mean, the movie itself is like, really nothing but fan service. But I'm thinking about Downton Abbey as kind of like a whole. Like, it is what it is. And if you want to, imagine Noel Coward in a gay thruple, I suppose you should watch this movie.
No.
It's not 100% sure.
I'm sure there's a better version of that somewhere.
I'm sure there is. But I mean, this movie...
Dr. T and the Women starring...
Well, that's a better
that
thruple.
Same actor.
That is not the
same
guy.
That's not the same guy?
That's not the same guy. This guy is Dominic West. The guy that was in that movie is Luke Evans.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't remember that movie very well. Anyway.
They're playing basically the same character, like 1930s-ish, debonair-ish kind of dude, but they're different. They're different humans.
They all kind of blend together.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so...
White guys, they kind of look alike sometimes.
Sorry, we do our best. I got green glasses to kind of stand out.
That's true. I also see you every day, so I tend not to forget what you look like.
Fair. All right, so...
we saw Luke Evans is... Jason Statham's brother in the Fast and the Furious movies. He's the other Deckard.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. So 2 English men with mustaches.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Downton Abbey, it was nostalgia for something nobody who watched it had ever experienced. And it was nostalgia for an English history that never really was what it presented itself to be. And it was all just one big lie, and it was fun while it lasted. I guess that's my final wrap-up. Nostalgia, of course, is irony poisoning, and no, that's not how it goes. It doesn't matter.
I don't know what you were referring to there.
Nostalgia is, is tasty poison. I can't remember. Anyway... It's a quote from the internet. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But now it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not particularly sad.
I
thought I would be sad, but I'm not.
There are some actors that would like to make some more money, and they will have to make some more money in other ways.
Yeah.
Or perhaps they too will retire and walk off into the literal sunset, which is the end of this movie. It's
really interesting that Julian Fellows then went on to make The Gilded Age.
Which is currently on.
And
apparently is getting better season by season.
I watched literally like the first episode and realized it was not for me.
Yes, and I have heard on the interwebs that there were people who did not like the first season and that has gotten better.
Okay.
I have no intent to watch it, even though Carrie Coon is in it, who I very much like. Yeah. And there is a black family in it.
Okay.
Like black elite New York is in The Gilded Age, and I still don't want to watch it.
Okay.
Sorry, Julian.
Okay,
Sir Julian? Is he a sir?
I don't know.
I think he's a sir.
Whatever. They can make up names for themselves all they want. It doesn't make them better people. Anyway, Downton Abbey, grand finale. Cool. Until next time.
Bye.